America's wanted war with Iran for a long time. A week of anti-government protests saw hundreds of people in prison and dozens dead. Tehran's accused the U.S., Israel, and Saudi Arabia of involvement, interference, not minding their own damn business. Call it what you will. It's not exactly rocket science, and there's been hints, and more importantly, history. Let's all agree, Trump wants war.
A terrorist state, really the #1 terrorist state.
Whose chief exports are violence, bloodshed, and chaos.
America wants regime change.
You've said that you want to support, quote, elements in the country that will lead to a peaceful transition of government. That sounds like regime change.
There's a long history of attempts to shake the soil under Iran's leaders. So U.S. presidents have made it a habit of bashing the evil state.
A maniacal fanatic who has slaughtered thousands and thousands of people, calling it executions.
We can't have normalized relations with a state that's branded a terrorist state.
States like these and their terrorist allies constitute an axis of evil.
In fact, America's been at war with Iran for decades now. The CIA overthrew Iran's democracy in 1953. It's been admitted, officially. This isn't just some conspiracy. Washington then replaced the country's leader with the Shah, but they got what they least expected, the revolution of 1979. The country drowned in chaos, saw a surge of nationalism and sectarianism that gave birth to a regime they're now trying to bring down. Following the revolution, the CIA and the Reagan administration wanted to fix their mistakes, so they supported war against Iran and pitted their good friend Saddam Hussein against the axis of evil. Chemical attacks against Iranians were launched with U.S. approval. Over 500,000 people are believed to have died. And the plan failed. Iran only strengthened its positions in the region. That really pissed off America and backfired big time for Baghdad.
At this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
You guessed it, there's irony. Washington accused the very same Saddam Hussein of using WMDs and got rid of him. The vacuum that followed reignited sectarian violence between Shias and Sunnis, a division that goes way back. It's why mostly Sunni Saudi Arabia is pinned up against mostly Shia Iran. The kingdom is fighting a proxy war with Iran in Yemen, which has been called the worst humanitarian crisis in decades. And yet the U.S. continues to support Riyadh, mainly with weapon sales and logistical help, all just to keep the Houthis, who are backed by Iran, from gaining power. Iran and Saudi Arabia also are vying for power in Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon. It's a real front line there, with two rivalries struggling for geopolitical control. Of course, the U.S. also has its biggest cheerleader on its side.
My friends, one day the Iranian regime will fall.
So Israel and the Saudis have America's back against Iran. That's the situation today. But it's been a long, destructive road through Iraq, Libya, and Syria to get here.
This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
This is actual planned foreign policy. Way before most of you were born, decades of war, intervention, coups, arms, economic bullying, and lots of media bullshit. So where's the real threat?